When we think about abstract arts, the first thing that comes to our mind is, what is this? And is it even arts? This type of wonder are common when it's come to abstract arts. Without a figure or a still life or a landscape to hold on to, what is it even about? Today, I want to discuss an artwork that frequently serves as the punchline to these types of humor. It is called Black Square by Kazimir Malevich. All of this began when Malevich's friend requested him to create the set and outfit for the opera Victory Over the Sun, a Cubo-futurist creations. The anti-establishment avant-garde production known as Cubo-futurist opera was essentially unintelligible. It had illogical language, bizarre plot, and startling soundtrack. Malevich thought non-objective painting was the way of the future in the late 1920s Soviet Russia, but he was compelled to return to realistic. So he made the decisions, along with his friend, to completely destroy the thing. Currently, the show largely served to engage its audience, but among the futuristic set vivid color, there was one crucial backdrop that seemed to mark the opera conclusions. On a white background, there was a single black square throne. Malevich didn't understand what he had made until the second staging 2 years later, a real representation of originality in the arts. Supplementism was his term for it. Since there were no visual signal present, it was a pure abstraction that allowed the observer to experience non-objectivity and the triumph of pure emotions. This painting don't contain any object. They don't represent something that isn't actually there. They truly are who they claim to be. On a canvas, it is a black square with a paint. Nothing more or less is appropriate. Now, his painting undoubtedly difficult for many people to understand, as is the case with much art that question our establishment's assumptions of what constitutes art. We have been taught to recognize sign and symbol as a viewers. For instance, this is a person and this is a building. We understand that these are not actual people or actual buildings, but rather representations of them. Malevich eliminates all of this connection in a black square. Yet, we are still attempting to identify and make sense of it. For many, this is what gets on their nerves. What am I looking at? Well, pain. Yeah, but what am I looking at? You are looking for a sign that does not exist. You may argue that some abstract art at least has attractive shape and harmonious color. You may observe the drips, motion, and vitality like in the Pollock artwork. But none of that is present in Malevich. No alluring hue or shape exists. It is uncomplicated, and exactly that is the point. Why is art limited to being merely a lovely picture on the wall? At the last Futurist exhibitions of painting 0.10 in Petrograd, now St. Petersburg, in December 1915, Malevich introduced Supermanism. The terms refer to the 10 participants, although 14 end up participating, were all looking for a painting and sculpture bare minimum, irreducible core, and 0 degree. The center of attention was the black square. It received a really unique situation. Crossing the two right angle where the wall met the ceiling, it hung high, almost brushing the ceiling crown molding. Religious iconography only belong here in Russian Orthodox home. The cheeky positions can be interpreted as an effort to assert independence from a Western European tradition by swapping out what is typically the head of the Christ. For his creations are more than just a black square. It reacts to the historical, social, and cultural context. Additionally, its historical relevance adds to its value, addition to the paint on the canvas. This video does not actually claim to be the best thing ever created or to be the flawless. There are undoubtedly many issues as noted by the critics, artists, and even Malevich himself. I hope you guys enjoy with this video and please share your thought on the black square with me.